What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. No, it just seems like that's the case, David. I don't know. Just a hunch. That's all it is. Box, I'm going to bring you up in 2 seconds. Hang tight. All right. Let's bring this one on. This one's always going to be fun. Hello.
What's up, dork?
What's going on?
So you think you could help people with addictions and harm and all that?
No. I mean, I'm just talking about my beliefs on 12-step programs. I mean, sure. I have experience with it, so I can offer my
So,
experience.
so you think you're like Dr. Phil now, helping people?
No, I mean, if you think that's what I'm doing, then you're welcome to think that. I
So
don't
what are you
think that
trying
about
to do on
myself.
here?
The background, trying to tell people that 12 steps not evidence based.
What do you mean by that? How
It's
is
an
it not
outdated
evidence
thing.
based?
Well, because it's based on 100-year-old science. It hasn't caught up at all. The program has been the same for 100 years now.
So what's your solution?
I think the solution is individual to each person, and I think each person, their own recovery is going to look different. And I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all like 12-step generally pushes.
I don't think you're the person to tell people what to do.
I'm not.
So
I'm not an addiction coach. I'm not telling people what to do.
so what are you trying to achieve on here?
Because 12-step programs are very, very prevalent. They're court ordered often. They're usually like the main form of recovery at different rehabs and things like that. So I'm just trying to make people aware that there are other things out there besides just 12-step programs.
Okay, so this you're adding people to have a conversation?
Yeah, it could be a conversation. If somebody does disagree with the background, I'm welcome to have a conversation about that as well. But this isn't as much of a debate live as it is more of like a conversation type live. But if somebody wants to debate, that's fine.
I mean, I don't agree with your stance on transgenders.
Okay, but
Uh,
that's not the topic. So
and I feel like you have a lot of issues in your life you have to fix before you tell people what to do with theirs.
okay, I appreciate the
You
input
don't
there.
you don't go you don't go to the gym. You have your own addictions. You're weak. You're supposed to be a trainer, and I'm stronger than you.
Okay, that's fine.
That's not
I'm happy
fine.
for you.
How are
I'm
you a
happy for you. I
trainer?
think I'm happy for you. That's great that you're strong.
I'm not happy for you. How are you getting paid to be strong but you're not strong?
What is strong?
Muscle,
Okay,
physique.
how much muscle does one have to meet the threshold of strong?
I have more muscle than a whole LA fitness trainer. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, I mean if that's how you feel, that's fine.
What's the most you can curl?
Like bicep curl?
Uh, we could do a barbell.
I haven't done barbell curls in a long time.
So you're not strong.
Do you want to talk about the background though, man? I don't like. Do you
Yeah,
just come up here to just like what is this?
I I don't like you.
I'm well aware.
I feel like you do harm to the community. You're literally a meme at my job.
Okay, that's great. That's amazing. I love that. I'm a meme. Can I see the meme?
You, no, we all make fun of you.
Oh, great. Bring them on in. Tell more people about me.
You your stance on the LGBT community. You
Okay.
think you
You're
think
utterly obsessed. Listen, man, that's not the topic. The fact that you keep wanting to talk about trans people is starting to get
okay, we
irritating.
can talk about this. I think 12 step is helpful
Okay, how so?
because it helps people with recovery.
Do you know what the success rate of 12-step programs is?
I'm not sure the exact number.
It is no more than it is of people spontaneously ceasing to use on their own.
So what's the number?
It's about 5% or so.
Well, most people that have addictions like this are like they can't come back from it.
What do you mean
People
by
that
that?
are on people who are addicted to meth or they're addicted
Oh
to
no! Don't say that. Don't say the name of substances. Your account will get taken down, or I'll get flagged.
on Dean and Parker's live. They say crazy stuff and no one
Okay.
gets.
All right. Well, this is my life, so okay. So
All right.
what about
Well,
the substances are you talking about? What about them?
people that are addicted to injecting themselves and smelling crystals and all that, they're gone. They're not. It's less than a 1% chance of coming back from that.
Where did you get that number from? And Jen, thank you for the 10 on the blue out with a V. It says you deserve so much more for putting up with these incels. Love and hugs. Thank you, Jen. You're the best. W Jen in the chat. Listen, man, I'm not saying that you can't go to AA or you should not go to AA. That's not my stance. I think if the meetings want to exist, that's fine. I just don't think they should be pushed on people. I don't think they should be forced on people. That's
Well,
my
they need to
problem
go to
with it.
something.
But I think that's up to the individual to make that decision.
No, they can't be a menace to society.
Well, I mean, it depends. You can't just take somebody off the street because they're using a substance. Now, if they get arrested for something, that's a different story.
So if no, because the needles might be out, children might pick it up, touch it. Like no,
Okay. So
no.
you're suggesting that we just wrangle people off the streets who use substances, like, and they do no other crime?
What kind of substances are we talking about?
Any substance in this
Yeah,
case.
yeah. Pack them up and get them out of there. I'm
But
not
how do
trying
you
to
know?
smell it. I'm not.
How do you know they're addicts though? What if they're just using a substance just casually? Some people use substances casually.
So people will inject themselves and just for scheduling.
I'm not
Are we
talking
dead
necessarily about that.
ass? Are we
Johnny,
dead?
you're talking about wrangling people off the streets because they use substances. This is
Yeah,
what you are
because
currently proposing.
you're not. Those are not good for you, and the needles will be there, and kids can pick it up, touch it. They can't
Why
have
would
that.
kids be there? The parent should just be a better parent.
Because kids are everywhere, and they might be at a park.
Okay, well, that's free will for you.
No, I don't want them in my parks.
Okay, well, then don't go to a park,
I'm allowed to go to a park.
as they are too.
They are, but they
Hmm.
can't do drugs.
Okay, well, they are, so too bad.
Well, you think that's okay?
I think it's up to the individual to make that choice. Once again,
Yeah, they're
I don't
no.
think we
They
should
will.
force people. I don't. You can't force people. It's not going to work. I promise you, it's not going to work.
They should be doing that at their place.
Okay,
What do you mean? You keep
cool.
saying okay,
Because
but
you're saying things that aren't worth conversing with. Like, what am I supposed to respond to that?
so
How
let me
am I
say,
supposed to respond to
let's
that?
say you brought your kid to a park, and they go to the swings or whatever, and there's a needle there, and they touch
Hmm.
it, and
Well, first of all, I wouldn't be at a park. Well, first of all, I don't have a kid, but if I did have a kid, I wouldn't be at a park where a lot of those people go to those. I would probably go to a nicer
oh,
park for
so
one, and
wait,
second,
why not? Why not?
they're
Why not?
allowed to. Johnny. That wasn't a
You
gotcha.
just
That wasn't a
proved my point.
Johnny. You're talking about wrangling them off the streets. I'm not saying you should go next to them or not. Of course, you don't want to bring kids around that. No fucking shit.
So
That's
why
not.
are you saying they are allowed in our parks?
They can do what they want. They have free will.
Not in our parks.
Okay, and if a cop sees them, they'll get arrested.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
oh.
that's how the law
But you're
works, man.
against that.
I no. You're talking about wrangling people up off the streets. No, duh. If you call it possession, you go to jail. But I don't think that should be the case. I agree with Jenna.
You don't think they should be
I think
arrested? But you
I
said
think
they.
all I know. I think all substances should be decriminalized. But that's not the society that we live in. Based on the society that we live in, yes, you will get arrested for that. There's your.
Okay, so if you saw someone at the park doing that,
I
would you
would
get the
join them.
police?
I would probably join them.
Well, this is why no one takes you're a meme at my job. We all make fun of you. You're a loser. We don't like you. You put our kids in harm's way.
Okay. I respectfully disagree.
What do you mean? You're trying to justify people doing.
If you're about to talk about trans people again,
I'm not talking
okay.
about those weirdos. I'm talking about people who do those stuff in our public parks, and you think it's okay.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying people have free will. They can do things that they want. There
You're
are also
literally saying
laws.
it's okay. So
That's
is it not
not what.
okay? Is
No,
it not okay?
no.
Is it not okay?
What I am saying does not equate to it's okay. Somebody has free will to unalive somebody.
So
That doesn't mean
is it
it's
not
okay.
okay?
What do you
So
mean by okay?
is it not okay?
But what do you mean by okay? That's such
Okay,
a
okay.
open-ended question.
Well, okay. Let me say this. Let's say you're at the park with your kid, right?
Hmm.
The kid looks just like you, very nerdy, all that, and then you see someone coming in with the substances.
Hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have my kid there, but that is my decision to move them.
Do you think they should be allowed into the park?
I'm pretty sure there's laws against it already.
Do you agree with those laws?
No, I think all substances should be decriminalized. Now, I still think there should be a proper place in which you use them, sure, but
Oh my goodness. Why are you like this?
I don't know, man. I actually ask myself that pretty often. That's a good question.
This is why this is like my number one reason I don't like you.
Yeah, that's fair.
You come on here acting like your opinion is right, and you think
If that's if that's
and
what
you're
you're
trying,
inferring from what I say, then fine. But that's not what I am implying when I'm speaking. If that's what you're inferring, then fine.
but you don't have the intelligence to be talking about a subject like this.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to counteract my lies, you're welcome to do your own.
Well, I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Okay, that's fine, and you are
So
welcome to do
you
your own live stream.
so
Mhm.
you don't think these people that be doing these drugs act a certain way?
What do you mean by act a certain way? What the fuck does that mean?
They don't. People with substances, all these very criminal stuff.
Yes, if
They
people have
don't.
substance use disorder, it can be harmful to their lives and to the people around them. Yes.
Yeah. So you don't.
Yeah. Not
You don't
substance
think.
use disorder, though. Yeah, somebody has substance use disorder,
Well,
sure.
people do it one time. Don't all of a sudden stop.
Statistically, that's not true. Actually, the majority of people
What
who
are
use
you
hard substances,
talking
it's
about?
actually a very because the reason why you think otherwise is because the ones that do use it chronically and daily and things like that, they get highlighted. That's ones that you see. You don't hear about the ones that just try things once or twice.
I know.
Statistically, very a small percentage of people actually start using those hard substances daily. I'm
I
not
know.
advocating for people to use them. I'm just saying statistically, it's
You're
a
saying
small
it's
anomaly.
okay. You're saying it's okay.
No. See, you have a bad problem inferring things that I'm not
So what are
saying.
you saying exactly?
I think that's the issue. Like nowhere did I say that's okay. I think substance use is amoral. I don't think it's necessarily a good thing. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
It's
Certain
not a bad
substances,
thing. Oh my
it
god.
not necessarily a bad thing, Johnny.
So
God
someone that does
damn you! You are so
METH.
you are so bad at listening, dude. I
So
said it's
someone that
not
does
necessarily a bad thing. It
so
can be depending on how they
so
use it.
so if someone does METH,
Hmm.
that might not be bad.
Well, there's actually a prescription for that, believe it or not. It's actually a scheduled
We're
substance
not
in which
talking
people.
about medically prescriptions.
But that is a
We're talking
prescribed
about
substance.
recreational. We're talking about recreational use.
That is a substance in which sometimes people can develop issues with it. Sure, but again, I do think it
Are
still
you
should be
saying are
decriminalized.
you saying it's okay?
I don't. I can't make that decision for somebody. I don't know what you mean by okay.
Your humble estimation.
I wouldn't advise somebody use it if that's what you're asking.
Do you
I wouldn't advise somebody use it. No.
do you think if someone used it, it's okay? It's not a bad thing.
It depends on how they use it.
Recreational.
Is it causing a problem to their life and to the people around them and to their
What
job?
benefit would it have?
I mean, they're not using it just for the
This
hell of
is
it.
why we make fun of you at my
People
job.
use people
Anytime you
use
go live and I
substances
get the
for a reason.
notification, we all make fun of you.
Okay, well, I think these all people that you're talking about are imaginary. I don't think there's anybody else that
No,
you're
I
talking about.
work.
I'm sure you do. What's up, Amber? How are you?
I do
Hey, Doug,
construction.
how's it going?
At my
It's
trailer,
going.
you're a joke.
You can go ahead, Amber, if you want to chime in.
All right, go ahead, Amber. Nice and loud.
I'm gonna do what I want to do, Johnny, because I don't like you.
And I don't like you
Right.
either, Amber. You're another person
Cool.
we make
I
fun
don't
of.
care. Johnny, what is the most common substance that Americans get addicted to?
Probably alcohol.
That's right.
Okay.
So the majority of people who are attending AA or who get mandated to attend AA are alcoholics.
Here's the thing, though. Alcohol. Most people that do it don't have a problem, but everyone that does METH has a problem.
That's not true.
That is
Understand?
also not true. That is also not true.
Well,
Provide a source to back that up.
I will reword what I said. recreational METH, they all have problems.
That's not
But
true.
but again, statistically, that's not true. And
Statistically,
just because you're about to say it, I am not advocating people use it. But statistically, you are
Quite
incorrect.
so you
frankly,
think?
I don't
So do you?
advocate for
All right,
people to drink
Dougie.
alcohol either, because guess what? Alcohol kills more people in this country every year than any other
Because
substance.
it's so easily accessible.
Sure, but
And
even
it's
if you look at
highly
it on
addictive, yes.
The
even if you
stores
look
that
at
sell
it,
it.
you are correct. Obviously, it's more widespread, but on a per capita basis, it's still very, very harmful, right?
Because some people will abuse it, but
Yes,
most people don't.
exactly.
So you think METH recreational is okay?
I don't
I
think
think
any of it is okay in excess or to a degree that you're harming your
Well, there we
life, where
go.
you're
So we're all
becoming
saying the same thing.
non-functional, where you're
no,
not able to keep your life together.
but she
Yeah, I
added
mean,
a caveat
haven't
though,
you
Johnny.
ever heard of like the 80s Wall Street white stuff widespread usage?
Okay, that's bad too.
None, I mean,
But nothing's worse than METH.
Okay, listen
according
though.
to
I
what?
think people people have bodily autonomy. People should be able to put what they want in their body. I don't think we should dictate what people put in their body, Johnny.
Recreational outside?
I think people should make their own decisions. I think they should be properly
Yeah,
informed.
okay, I agree you can make your own decisions, but there's
Yeah,
consequences for those decisions.
of course, there's consequences to every decision. Yes.
So if you're gonna go outside doing all that, like stuff
hmm
is gonna happen. So yeah, let me ask you this. Let me
It
ask you.
can, sure. It can,
Let me
sure.
ask you
Yeah,
this.
absolutely.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me speak. You think having intercourse is okay?
I think it's amoral. Once again, I don't think it's neither good nor bad.
Wait, you
It
think?
feels good. It feels
Wait,
good.
okay,
But
okay.
I don't think that's what you're talking
Do
about.
you think we should be allowed to do it outside?
Legally? No, I think probably not.
Obviously, legally, no.
Yeah, the answer was no.
All right, so you get proved wrong again. How about pissing? Do you or shit?
Are you trying to equate this to substance use?
I'm saying just because you think something's okay doesn't mean it should be done recreational outside.
Again, I never said that.
Yes, you did. You said they have the right.
Yes, I think people should have the right.
So you think people should have the right to put needles in themselves outside?
I think it's your own body. If you want to do that, go for it. I think you should
Do you think there should be
properly
consequences
informed.
for those actions?
Legally, no.
So you think? So you're saying people should be doing it outside and nothing wrong and nothing.
No,
when
I
you
think
say
we.
outside, are you talking about in public, or are you just
Yes,
saying
in public.
are people allowed to drink in public?
No,
Yes, they are.
no, they're not.
They are.
They are not.
What are you
Have
talking
you ever?
about?
Have you
In
ever?
America,
Have you ever
they're not.
walked?
Maybe
Have you
in
ever
Europe.
been to a bar?
That's not outside, buddy.
You've never been to an outside bar.
In a business, but you can't walk on the sidewalk drinking. You
There are
can't.
plenty
Sure.
of places
illegal.
in this country where you can.
No, it's not.
Right.
Yes, there are.
Okay, but again, there's
So if I
caveats
go to a
to
park
this,
right
right?
now and I do that, can I get arrested? Well, if the
It
cops
depends
chase me?
on what the laws are in that
It's
particular park.
illegal. It's against the law.
Many places it is. Yes, some places it is not.
No, every place it's illegal.
No.
America, it's illegal. Yes.
Somebody
Unless you
mentioned it.
go-
Vegas, it's not. That's an example.
you cannot walk outside anywhere
Yes, you
in
can.
America. No, you cannot.
In Las Vegas, really?
Can
No,
you
you
drink
cannot
in
in
public?
Vegas
Let's look it
either.
up. Can
Yes,
you
you
drink in public in Las Vegas? Yes, you can legally drink alcohol in public on the Las Vegas Strip in many parts of the city. Open containers are allowed.
It's against the law.
Johnny, I don't
Not
think that
in
you have
Vegas.
the brain or education or information to have this conversation, my friend.
I'm smarter than
ever
both
been
you
to
guys.
Vegas?
This guy right here.
Have you ever been to Las Vegas? Have you ever been to Las Vegas?
Of course I've been to Vegas. Type shit.
So you don't know
Did you just
that
say
it's
type
legal to
shit?
drink on the strip?
Did you just say type shit?
Yeah.
God damn, that's embarrassing. All right, whatever.
Yeah, I've been to Vegas.
Type shit. Type shit.
When you say it, it's fucking corny.
Type shit. Type shit.
Grown man, by the way.
As you are too, but you said it seriously. I said it ironically.
This is why you're a joke.
Yeah.
So, do you think taking a shit is in public should be legal?
Like a type shit?
Grown man, by the way. Guys in the chat. Grown man. By the way.
You set me up for that. You set me up for it.
Well,
Okay.
it depends on the age. If it's a baby and they have a diaper on, then yes.
No. Someone like Dougie right here. Do you think he should be legally allowed to?
Of course
What
not.
substance? What substance
Oh,
are
of
you talking
course
about?
not. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
Once again, when I'm saying that these things should be decriminalized, I'm not saying that you should just be able to use it anywhere, anytime, anything like that. There absolutely should be restrictions to it, just as there are with alcohol.
publicly.
Are you
Yeah, sure.
dense? He is saying anywhere that it is prohibited to do, you should not be doing it. Period.
No, that's not what he said. He said
Yes, there are
That
laws,
is what
and you
he
shouldn't
said.
be. Yes, there are laws, and if you do that in public, you will. If you get
So
caught, you'll get
do you
arrested.
think? Do you think? But he says there shouldn't be a law for it.
That's not what he said.
I
He
did
did
not
say
say
that.
that. I did not
No,
say that. I did
because
not.
you don't understand the
God, did he
difference
say
between.
that?
You don't understand the difference between illegal and decriminalized.
He says you should be able to do whatever you want in public.
With your own body, yes. I think
Well,
most
yeah,
people
with your
should
own
agree
body.
with that. Yeah, I think you should be able to put anything you want in your own body and do what you want with
Do
your
you
own body,
think you should
so
be
long as it
arrested for
doesn't
that?
harm other people.
Do you think? All right. So do you think? Oh my God. All right. Do you think inserting a penis in your mouth in public should be you're putting in your own body? Do you think that should be illegal?
It's going in your own body or someone else's?
Your own body.
How would you
Someone's
manage to
one
do
is
that,
going.
Johnny?
Huh?
How exactly would you manage to do that?
What do you mean?
Are
You've
you an
never done that?
acrobat?
You don't do that for your boyfriend?
I
No,
don't have a
wait.
boyfriend.
Were
I
you
have a
talking about
husband.
doing it yourself?
No,
Yeah, if you're talking about
you're saying
public,
putting something in your own body is wrong.
so long as it doesn't affect other people, that's two different
Okay,
people
let's
doing
say
things in
you're all
public.
right, Dougie. Let's say your boyfriend.
How do you
You
not understand this, bro? Like
all right,
it's
all right,
concerning that you are not understanding this.
Okay, Dougie. Let's say you and your boyfriend are in public, and you insert his genitalia in your mouth in public, and it's consensual, and you're putting it in your own body. Do you think
No,
it'd be
because
That's
arrested?
someone else's body involved.
Yes, and public nudity is already illegal.
Public nudity is not legal. What the fuck?
It's already illegal. Illegal.
Oh, it's illegal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that also depends as well, because there are some states that
sure.
it's legal
Oh
for
my
women
God.
to be topless.
Okay,
Well, it's true.
yeah, sure. All right, listen, can we sort of bring it back to the topic a little bit more, Johnny? Like ever so slightly?
Yeah. This should
All right.
not be illegal. This should not be legal.
Johnny, what are the 12 steps in the AA program?
I don't memorize every single step. I don't
All right,
remember
what's
the
the
Name
list
first
that I
three of
saw.
them.
You should know the
Name three
first
of
one.
them.
Everybody knows the first one, at least to
And
some
I'm not
degree.
saying that because if I'm wrong, then I look dumb. So I'm not
Because
doing
you don't know
that.
anything about this. You just
I
came
do
here
know.
to
This
waste
is
time
I do
whining
know.
and crying about how much you don't like Doug, and you have
I
a
don't like
boring,
Doug.
useless
He's a
life,
meme.
and so
He's a
this is entertaining
meme.
for you.
He is a meme at my
Doug
job.
is here to talk about 12-step programs. You're not.
I
Unless
am.
you do know the 12 steps, in which case, go ahead and list
So
them.
name all 12 right now if you know.
I'm obviously not going to list them for you so you can get out of the question.
I forfeit mine. Go ahead.
No, the question is, what knowledge do you have about this topic in order to discuss it?
Because there's 12 steps.
And what are they?
I don't remember every single one.
Name
Do you know
one,
any?
name two.
Do you know any? Do you know anything about 12-step programs? Like
He
anything?
doesn't.
This is the road to recovery.
What are
But
the
what do you know
steps?
about? Give me just anything. You can name a
I don't
step.
memorize 'cause I
Name
never had to deal with
Okay,
this.
I'm not asking you to do that. You can name a step if you want, or you can name something else about a 12-step program. I just want to make sure you understand at least something to have this conversation, because otherwise it seems like you came in here just to argue.
This is morally the right way to get to recovery.
Based on
Because
what?
it's
What training, education,
it's
information, or knowledge
scientifically
do you have about Johnny?
What
academic research have you read about 12-step programs?
I never studied it in college or anything.
I'm not talking about college. I'm talking about reading on your own, which is something you clearly don't do.
I know it's science backed.
Based on what? Can you show us a source for that?
Yeah, what part is science backed?
I remember hearing it was science backed.
Oh,
okay,
you just heard it.
What part is science backed?
I'm gonna take the scientist side over you.
What part is science backed? Certainly not the thing where they say it's an allergy.
Because people have recovered from this.
You're not okay. They say that it's an
shit.
allergy. They say that you have an allergy to alcohol in 12-step meetings. That is just objectively not true. It's not an allergy.
You're supposed to believe it's an allergy,
but it's not an allergy.
But you're supposed to.
An allergy has a definition. There's a definition to what an allergy is, and alcoholism does not meet that definition, like by any means.
Can I get a W, Johnny, in the chat if you agree with me?
Which 12-step meeting did you hear that at, Johnny?
I never was at a 12-step
Exactly.
meeting.
So how do you know what
Neither
they
have
tell
you. Neither have you.
Yes, I have.
Okay, then you wouldn't have to act like this because they would have fixed you.
It wasn't for me. It was for somebody that I love who is in the AA program on a day when they allow family members. Thanks.
Yeah. Or
Okay,
they have what's
so-
called they have what's called Al-Anon meetings, where it is like people who know an addict or an alcoholic who go to
AA has
meetings.
open meetings and closed meetings. In open
Yeah.
meetings, anyone can come. And I
Yep.
went there with my loved one.
So, Dougie, do you drink alcohol?
I have not drank alcohol in like 8 years.
Do you have a problem?
Well, the reason why I don't drink right now is because it leads me to do other stuff because it lowers my inhibitions.
What
and I end
else
up
would
doing
you be doing? You work at LA Fitness, you come on here, you bash other people's opinions.
I don't trust myself when I'm under the influence of alcohol. I just do very, very dumb things that will get me in trouble, so I just stay away from it.
What is the worst thing you've ever done?
Johnny,
I totaled my
Doug,
car. That's okay.
Don't answer him.
You crashed your car?
I totaled my car. I sure did.
So you broke the law.
Yes.
So you broke the law, and you think
Yeah.
we're supposed to be getting advice from you?
Every single person ever has broken at least one law.
Have
you ever? You've never gone above the speed limit?
You're allowed to go 10 over the speed limit.
No.
Yes, you are.
I mean,
that's not true.
I learned
like legally,
no. I learned that in driver's ed class.
Practically, yes.
Oh my
legally, no.
In my driver's ed
There's
class,
a reason why there's a speed limit. If it was 10 above, then it would be 65 instead of 55.
In my driver's ed class, they said you were allowed to go 10 above.
They don't say you're allowed. They say you're not likely to get pulled over if you're only
which is
10
true.
miles over the speed limit.
Okay.
The exact word was you were allowed.
Was that 6 months ago, Johnny? Because you're only 17? Because that's what you sound like.
I'm 26.
That's alarming.
That's alarming?
Yes, it is alarming. That
How's
you're
it alarming?
up here wasting your time just trying to beat somebody down at your big age of 26. Go find a hobby.
I hate Doug. It's not
Go
a joke.
find a healthy hobby,
Jesus
Johnny,
Christ,
or a good
dude.
outlet for your hate. Might I suggest a
I have a
padded
lot
room?
going on for myself.
Oh, it sounds like it.
I work
Since you're here wasting your time
construction.
doing this.
I go to the gym.
So instead of doing this to Doug, go find yourself a padded room.
Or are you like
touch
his
some
secretary or
grass.
something?
I'm another human being on this app.
And
just
so
like
am
you
I.
are.
You know better than me.
Yeah. So stop going on people's pages just to bash
Okay,
them and tell
what you're
them how
not
much you
going
hate
to
them.
do is tell me what
It's
I
a
can and
waste
can't
of
do.
time. I am going to tell you, kid. I am going to tell you.
And who are you?
Go do something better with your life.
What I am. I'm helping people.
Yeah, I'm
who
sure
are you
you are.
helping?
Start
Wait,
your own
this
live stream.
dude right here who has broken the law, who has the most liberal left opinions ever, is trying to dictate what we think.
Right
There
now,
are-
he is trying to share with people that 12-step is not the only answer, and they shouldn't be forcing it on people.
But he also said in the same sentence that people should be doing meth in person in
Okay,
real life.
That's
Let's not be
not
saying
what he
that.
said, Johnny.
He said they should.
I
They have the
did
right
not.
to.
No, I did not. I also did not say that.
You
I
said it's
people-
okay
I said people should have the right to put what they want in their body. Yes,
in
that's what I said.
recreational use.
What do you
I'm
think
done with him.
recreational
I'm
use
done.
means? Do you
I'm
think
done.
that
I
means
can't.
that you're
I'm done with
outside?
him. I can't with him. It's just too
Holy
much.
shit, dude.
Also, well, Gabby, good timing, Gabby. Thank you for the 20 on the Blue Out with the V. W Gabby, guys. What you're not going to do is shame people for being honest about their experiences. Thank you, Gabby. I really appreciate that.
In the
Thank you so
comments,
much.
somebody said 12-step programs aren't forced on anyone. They absolutely
are.
They are in many cases, they are court mandated that you attend them and provide documentation that you've attended them. If you happen to get into a recovery house, they are mandated to attend every single day, or you get kicked out of the house. So yes, they are. They absolutely
They're absolutely, they're absolutely mandatory for many people. What's up, Snitch? How are you?
Hey, I thought that it would be an interesting thing to bring up, but there are some other. So, is Alcoholics Anonymous considered a part of the 12 Steps program?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything anonymous is, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I was looking at a few pieces of data, and although it can be effective for some people, individuals who are atheists and agnostics, it doesn't seem to work as well because of the emphasis on like a quote unquote higher power.
Yeah.
So
that was a big problem that I had when I went to Phoenix. I had a huge issue with it. I struggled with it for the longest time.
yeah.
Yeah. Smart recovery. Yeah, Bree, I agree. Smart recovery is very good. It uses what is it? Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. I think smart meetings are very good. They're a lot more evidence based, and you don't have to believe in a god or anything like that. I think they're very good. But yeah, no, listen, I don't deny that obviously there are people who have gone through 12-step meetings, their lives have gotten better, they stopped using substances. Sure, I'm not denying that. What I am saying is that it shouldn't be forced on people. And what I am saying is that the success rate is so abysmally low that it's comparable to people just stopping using on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think people should be able to go to meetings if they want. I'm not trying to take them away. We should not force them on people. That's it.
I think the biggest aspect of those who do succeed is in finding a community or a network of support. And that can be done
Yes.
without the structure of the 12 step. I think that's basically
Hmm.
true with anything that you're trying to struggle
Sure.
through, is
Yeah.
needing a support network, right? So,
Yeah, that was what I went to, for anybody who doesn't know, I went to meetings from like 2009 or 10 up until like 2 or 3 years ago, mostly sober for that entire time. And yeah, looking back, what I got out of it was just having a social group, like a people, friends and people that
yep.
I can, confide in and talk to. Um, a lot of times the friends that I had, we would hang out outside meetings and not even talk about, 12 step stuff. We would just talk as if we're friends.
Right.
So that's what I got from it. And honestly, I went through the steps many, many times, and I don't really think I gained much from it, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. So.
My sister is an alcoholic, and
Yeah.
she's currently living in a recovery house after having got out of rehab, and she is mandated to attend AA meetings every single day. And
Yeah.
for her, it's not necessarily the doctrine of the 12-step program that's working for her. It's the structure and the schedule, the regularity of being kind of accountable to other people for her to work on her
That makes
recovery,
sense.
and the
Yeah, that makes sense.
the socialization of other
For
people
sure.
who understand it. So
Yeah.
it could have been some other I don't know what word to use other than doctrine. It could have been some other program. It's just the fact that
That's what they're doing. Yeah.
he has the structure and the social aspect. Yeah.
Hey, defending. Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Great. What's going on?
Well, I'm home. My husband had to stand me up, so I'm home
sorry.
alone tonight. So I thought I would. Yeah, well, it's part of the job. And so I just thought I would distract myself to see if I could find some good conversation, which is always challenging on this app.
Okay.
So anyway,
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on the topic?
12-step isn't evidence-based. I believe it. I think it's kind of somewhat of a cult, although I don't know anything about it. So it's not like I've never been in it. I don't know anything about it, but it just seems to me that I ran around. I dated my one of my boyfriends in college. My undergrad was a 12-step, and he was really into it, and it was keeping him sober. But it was just, I don't know. It was just a funny, I don't know. But
yeah. So there's a what's it called? I think it's called the BITE model, BITE. I forget what it stands for, but it's a model that describes cults, and I think it meets 4 out of the 5 criteria for a quote or for a cult. I got to pull up the specific thing though, but it meets a lot of the criteria of what could be considered a cult. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, I know, but it keeps a lot of people sober. I get, you know what I mean? But it's like, are they switching it out from one obsession and addiction to another?
Yeah, so I mean, and I said this earlier in the live, I acknowledge that there are people who their lives have gotten better going to 12-step meetings, absolutely.
Yeah.
I am just of the opinion that they probably mostly got the benefits from just being around like-minded people, gaining a social group, getting out of their house, doing things, having something having something planned out to do, having some structure in your life. I think that's probably most of the benefits people get from it. The 12 steps are just not evidence-based. Neither is anything in the big book. And I went to meetings for a long time, so I'm very familiar with 12 steps.
And so, so this is your platform is 12
Well, no, I almost never do topics like this. I actually typically do political topics, but this is just sort of a different topic I'm doing.
Oh, okay. I live in the Washington, D.C. metro area.
Oh, cool. Okay, right on. All right. Anything else that you wanted to say about the topic?
That's all I don't, nope. It just seems like it was a nice, calm space, and you seemed normal-ish. So I thought I would.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I guess I'll take that as a compliment. But
Well, there's I don't know. This app is
yeah,
it
well, that's
attracts the
true.
lowest common denominator. I mean, there's like some I don't know. I don't know what it is with this app, but it's
Yeah,
kind of wild.
yeah. All right. Well, defending. Let me
Well,
bring
thank
you
you for
back to the
having me up.
comments. Yeah, for sure. I
Have a good
appreciate
evening.
it. Yeah, I hope
Have
you
a
have a
good
good rest
evening.
of your night. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I pulled up the bite model, guys. So this is it was developed by Stephen Hassan. As a framework used to identify, analyze, and understand the methods of control used by cults, authoritarian groups, and manipulative individuals to recruit and dominate members. That's a weird word to use, dominate. All right, so the BITE model, B stands for behavioral control. Regulation of an individual's physical reality, including where they live, what they eat, what they wear, sleep deprivation, and financial dependence. Information control, deception, restricting access to non-cult sources like the internet, news, books, etc., and encouraging spying on other members to ensure only group-approved information is consumed. That absolutely fits 12 steps right there. Thought control, using a loaded language or cliches to stop critical thinking, requiring members to internalize the group's doctrine, and encouraging good thoughts while suppressing doubts. And then E is emotional control, manipulation of emotions through fear, guilt, and the often public confession of sins to break down individual identity and create dependency. And that would be the fourth and fifth step in 12-step meetings, where they have to admit some of the things that they did to their sponsor, which I think can also be very harmful, by the way. If anybody's familiar with the fourth and fifth step in 12-step programs, you have to write down all of your harms that you've done to individuals over the years. You have to write down all of your sexual harms that you have done, or any sexual things that have been done to you, any fears that you have. And it puts people in position where they're talking to somebody who's not a trained therapist or a trained counselor or something like that. And they could be talking about very traumatic things, such as maybe they were raped or, SA'd or something like that. And I swear to God, and it sounds awful, there are times in which the sponsor will ask them, what was your role in that? What did you do? Which is wild.
I do have to say, I think the most alarming part, at least, and obviously you know that I'm witnessing this from the outside. So I'm not somebody who has been through the program myself, so I can't speak on it from that perspective. I just have been to meetings with my sister. I'm very, very close to her, so I know, the process that she's been through. But one of the most alarming parts for me is the fact that they tell you have to get a sponsor, and it's literally just another person in recovery. They could have any amount of problems themselves with their thought processes. They could be on the edge of relapse themselves and not in a good space. They could have terrible ideas about what to do with your particular problems. They could have harmful responses to your traumas. I mean, oh my gosh, I can't imagine like a worse system than just telling somebody who has a ton of trauma to deal with to just go like confide in and rely on just some other
random person. Yeah, and Bree, listen, I understand. Listen, I had good sponsors, right? Like, I'm not trying to like tell myself, but like, I feel like I surrounded myself around like-minded people that weren't so indoctrinated in 12-step programs when I was there. However, having said that, that shouldn't be a gamble, right? When we're talking about very traumatic things, or just, even if it's not so traumatic, just stuff that you've done in the past that you need to talk about at some point. It shouldn't be a gamble of who you're talking to, because you could talk to somebody who may be a good person to talk to, or it could be the opposite. They could be extremely harmful, and there's no regulation with that in AA or NA or anything like that.
Yeah. My sister has had some really bad experiences with sponsors and a couple good ones. So it's just kind of like, that's my issue with it, is that it's unregulated. Like, these people aren't vetted for being able to support somebody in the ways they might need to be supported. So it's like a gamble, and that's kind of scary for someone who's really, really fragile.
Hey, Van Essa, I see a comment. I don't know. You said Stanford I don't know what that has to do with it, but you said AA's most effective path to alcohol abstinence. Are you saying that there's a study done by that? I would love to see that. If you said it was done by, what was it? You said Stanford? Yeah. Yeah, but here's the issue, though. Not everybody is equipped for abstinence. Some people just are not. Some people may need to, other people maybe just can't, whatever the case might be. And again, we shouldn't be forcing a one-size-fits-all approach on people. So there are many people who can regulate things after whatever issues that they need to work on and things like that, and there may be people that can't. But the problem with AA and NA is they the moment you come in when you're in a very vulnerable position, because nobody goes into meetings in a high point in life. So they never start going to meet. You're always at the lowest point in life when you go to meetings. And so it's very easy to control somebody who's a bit vulnerable, right? So when you tell people constantly that you will never be able to drink responsibly, you will never be able to do this responsibly, you will always drink this way every time you have a drink, that's probably not the best mindset to be putting into people's head when you just keep saying that over and over and over again, because it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah,
So
there are some people where that is true, but not all people.
yeah, it's very individually based. There's a God, what is it called? There's a phenomenon called I have to think of the name. I'm gonna have to look it up, but it's where in the case of 12-step meetings where you have, say, a drink, right? You relapse, which I don't think is the best word to be using, but you relapse and then you say, F it, I'm just going to go all out. There's a name to that effect where you just go all out because you just did one thing that's bad, right? I have to look at what it's called, but anyways, you guys get the point, I think. And again, I think that can be very, very harmful. But again, if anybody is pro 12-step meetings, come on up. I'm not trying to yell at you or argue with you. I'd like to have a good discussion about it. Because again, I went to 12-step meetings for years, guys, like near 15 years. I went to 12-step meetings. I'm very familiar with them. I know a lot about them. This isn't necessarily coming from my experience. I actually had a relatively decent experience in 12-step meetings. This has nothing to do with my experience. This has to do with how 12-step meetings are structured. This is not experience-based, right? Now, I have seen things that are harmful in meetings, but and that's the thing that I like when I make posts about this or whatever. Some people say, "Well, you must have had a bad experience." No, I actually had a pretty decent one. This isn't about me; it's about the people that are harmed. Yeah, no, for sure, Olive, and that's what I was saying. It looks like you just joined, but the success rate is extremely low. It's like 4 or 5%, right? And yes, of course, there are people whose lives have gotten better, but I do think absolutely it causes more harm than good by a long shot, by an absolute long shot. Oh, it's called abstinence violation effect. That's what it's called. I can never spell abstinence. That's like the hardest fucking word to spell.
By the way, I just wanted to mention that I don't believe in a higher power where there's like group consciousness, because consciousness stems from thalamocortical connections, if you actually understand neurobiology.
Yeah.
And so there is no such thing as a group consciousness, because for that to occur, we all have to share the same brain or some kind of similar neurobiology that is connected to each other by actual physical means. And then as far as like a higher power, I don't recognize a higher power because I have like self-respect in like who I am. So I don't need to appeal to a quote unquote higher power to say I'm going to respect myself and others.
Yeah.
I can respect myself and others without bowing down to the quote unquote higher power because I want to be controlled like a lamb.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, and the funny part with 12-step meetings is that like they will say, "Oh, it doesn't have to be God." However, though, God is mentioned in the 12 steps. So they say it could be your higher power, could be the universe, it could be nature, it could be AA meetings, it could be a doorknob. But like, I swear to God, they say that people have said that in meetings. I'm not even joking about that. Okay, so let's say I choose a doorknob as my higher power. Okay, well, in the third step, you want me to pray to it. So you want me to pray to a doorknob? What's that going to do? It's ridiculous.
Also, I've gotten over a really severe bad eating habit where like you stick your fingers down your throat. That's all I'm going to go through there.
Yeah.
And so I've gotten over addictive behaviors very easily without a higher power. So clearly you don't need a higher power to do so.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And who said this in the comments? Van Essa, it has to be more powerful than yourself. Okay, listen, I understand what they mean by higher power when they try to move the goalpost and say it doesn't have to be God. But again, how can I pray to this thing? Okay, sure, there are things that have more power than me. The government has more power than me. Okay, so by your definition, that could be a higher power. You want me to pray to the government? I don't think I'm going to do that.
Hey, Doug, I gotta help my little one with her homework, so I'm gonna go.
All right, Amber. Great having you. All right.
Yep, talk to you later.
All right.
Oh,
Take
nice
care.
seeing you, Scientific. Bye.
See ya.
Nice seeing you,
All right.
librarian.
All right, guys. Keep tapping and sharing. Again, I'm looking for anybody who wants to talk about this. I'm not trying to yell at you or argue with you. I think we could have a good conversation if you're open-minded. So just come on up if if you go to 12-step meetings and you think they should be more prevalent. It depends on who's in office. Oh, man. I mean, I don't know if you're joking there, but gosh, I mean, I can rattle off for a while about the issues with 12-step meetings. We already talked about the predatory nature of it. They joke about if anybody's ever done 12-step meetings, there's this thing called the 13th step. Let me get back to that.
Hello.
Remind me, guys, because I'm going to forget. Lucius, how you doing?
Yeah. I
right.
disagree with the way that you're approaching all of this, the way you're thinking about it. It makes me want to ask more questions and to figure
Yeah,
out
please.
where you're trying to, like, how you're trying to address this to get to
Sure.
what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
What is a cult?
Hold on. Two quick things, Lucius. One,
Yeah.
I only have about 20 minutes left because I do have to go back to the gym.
Oh.
I'm a personal
Yeah, I
trainer.
can try to make
Thank
it
you all.
like concise.
That's fine. And I also just need to know your age for TikTok TOS.
Oh, 30.
Okay, cool. All right. So what was the question that you asked?
What's a cult?
We can use the bite model for a cult.
No.
The bite model is?
What is a cult, generally speaking? Like when you hear a cult, when someone
do you
says,
want,
they're a cult, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, do you want like the dictionary definition or do you just want my understanding of it?
I mean,
or would
whatever would be considered your understanding of a word. A lot of different people have different meanings to what they think a word means and such. So,
well, I don't think I have it up here, and I do believe it is one, but I don't think I have it up here that I said that. But
when you hear someone say cult, what do you think?
Yeah, I think some aspects of a cult could be I don't know if I want to use the word force, but I guess I'll use it. Forcing people to be indoctrinated into whatever their belief system is and heavily discouraging or even forcing them to not look at any outside information that would conflict with that. That would be one aspect of a cult.
And what is manipulation? I hear that word so much. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm super frustrated because people like to throw around labels and words and ideologies like manipulation and all of this. So what is manipulation?
Gosh, that's a good question. What is
when someone says
manipulation?
I was manipulated, what do you think that means?
I think I think unethically
because keep in mind, manipulation does also have a positive connotation and meaning behind it.
Well, I don't think there's what positive connotation comes up with manipulation.
Well, you can manage something skillfully. If you're really good at something, that's by definition manipulation. If you hold
on. If you're using like you're manipulating an object, yeah, that's you're using it in a different context.
Well, no, also, even when it comes to societal issue, like when it comes to societal reference or cult, like these words have positive connotations. Please.
No, they don't.
No.
I'd say they have. They don't. No. They have either neutral or negative. So when you say, like, for example, I'm manipulating the genome of an organism, that can have a positive connotation. Not a positive connotation, but a neutral connotation, meaning I'm manipulating the genome of an organism for the purpose of doing XYZ experiment.
Well, when I say a positive definition,
wait, I'm not done talking.
Hold on, Lucius, just let her finish, please, and then I'll introduce you after.
So, as far as having a neutral connotation, the experiment I can be doing can have a positive connotation in society, but the actual word of manipulating an organism, that's neutral to negative. That's negative for the organism, that's neutral in regards to what I'm doing, because whether or not I succeed, whether or not that experiment is for a good reason, that all is dependent on the experiment itself. The actual connotation of the manipulation part is just a way to describe what I'm doing to that experiment. So it's just a descriptor. It's neutral to negative, because if you're manipulating somebody, that means that you're trying to coerce them in some sort of way in which they're not fully aware of what they're doing or what you're saying in order to get them to do something.
Okay. All right. So, Lucius, you can respond in just a second. Olive, how you doing?
Hi there. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
30 for TikTok.
I appreciate it.
I
Let me
have.
let me just let him respond super quickly, and then
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
go.
yeah. I
Okay.
got you.
All
I
right.
got you.
Go ahead, Lucius.
So manipulation doesn't have to mean, it doesn't have to correlate or be exclusive to coercion, someone being coerced into something. If someone is manipulating,
That's what I said.
what?
I literally said it has a neutral to negative connotation.
Well, we're talking about the negative connotation of what manipulation is. When people hear manipulation, they're thinking of a negative connotation.
Yes.
I'm simply saying that there is a positive
That's
purpose for
wild.
using the word
No, there's
That is
manipulation.
not a
absolutely
positive
wild.
purpose. It's just
Well, I
a
mean, look,
neutral
that's beside
purpose.
the point. You might disagree with my perspective on the word. I'm just going based on the definition.
I'm also going
Manipulation
based on the
has a meaning.
definition.
Olive, you can chime in for this if you want, if you have something to say this, or if you want to say something else.
I
That's fine too.
requested up when this guest brought up the cult thing.
Okay.
And
Sure.
while cults typically have the traits of having some sort of supreme leader, whether it's one person or a multitude of people, in this particular circumstance, in my humble opinion, after being in AA for quite some time and leaving it because of the cult-like tendencies, the cult leader in this regard would be the idea of this God, like Doug was saying. And the intent and purpose of a cult is to isolate people from the outside world of said cult. So when you go into AA, a lot of times I notice that, like, once you're in there, you are led to believe that you are not strong enough to do it by yourself. You are not strong to have that autonomy to seek sobriety on your own without both AA and or God. And therefore that is very cult-like. And I find it very hard to dispute that concept.
I could not agree more. Lucius.
All right, so I'm just looking at the definition. Okay.
You cut out. I didn't. You said you're looking at the definition.
We can't hear you when
Yeah.
you're on TikTok.
So to adapt or change to one's purpose is like one of the definitions of manipulate. Manipulate has multiple definitions.
Okay, we're not using it in the context of manipulating an object. We are not
I
using
know.
it, and you know we're not
I'm
using it
not
in that
talking about that
context.
either. I'm not talking about that
Okay,
either.
we're
I'm just
using it in the
saying, when we're
context of
talking about
controlling people in situations.
yes, but the
things like
problem is, right, manipulation, everyone's using it wrong when they say, oh, these people are manipulated. It's like, what do you mean when you say that? Are they skillfully changing people? Or because the way that it seems, there's like an understanding that when people say manipulate, it's not about skillfully managing others. It's not about changing others to one's purpose. It's about coercion. It's about some nefarious, covert intention.
And that's what
And I'm
Olive
just
mentioned.
saying that,
When I know, but when Olive spoke, that's and you go by she, right? Olive, she, her.
They, them.
I'm sorry. So yeah, that's what they said when they spoke about exactly that. Do you want to respond to what they said?
well, who?
What Olive said.
Hi, me. Did you listen to anything I just said by chance, or would you like me to repeat it? Because I'd be more
Yeah,
than
can you
happy
repeat
to
it?
repeat it.
Because
Yeah,
I didn't
no
hear what you
problem.
were saying.
So first, I highly recommend listening to absorb and not to respond. And then we'll get to the response after, okay? So basically what I said was, when it comes to your first stance about cults, you were saying, you were asking for the definition of and things of that sort. And I said the primary principles or tenets, if you will, of a cult is having some sort of supreme leader, whether it's one person or multiple. And in this case, in my humble opinion, AA's supreme leader is this God figure, whether, higher power figure. And in this cult-like setting, again, we don't have to agree on this, but this is my perception of it. In this cult-like setting,
Yeah, go ahead.
you are led to feel as though you are powerless if not in it, because you're led to believe that you do not have the autonomy to get sober yourself on your own. Like, you have to be part of AA or the 12 steps or have this higher power to maintain that purpose. And I think that's very cult-like. Would you deny that, or?
So I think that is bad. That is not what a cult is by definition. That's more of like a localized meaning that you're projecting onto the term, right? It's like a cult. Cult by definition has a meaning. It has like
Yeah, we already went through
it's
this
like
earlier in the live. We can go through the
what
criteria of
is,
what
but
makes
that's
a
why I
cult.
started off by asking
Yeah,
when you say cult, what do you think a cult is? When you say
yeah.
manipulation or
I just
manipulate,
told you. I
no,
just
I'm not
told
talking to you, Olive. I'm just talking in general. I was talking to the host, Doug, because that's what I started off with when I came in to the live. Well, I wanted to know, what did he mean when he said cult and manipulate? Because these things have colloquial meaning and also
Hmm.
definitions,
I'm
dictionary
I'm
definition
I'm
meanings.
I'm a little confused as to why you're getting so hung up on that word.
Well, because the problem is when a lot of people talk about cults or manipulation, they are talking about their own experience that they're projecting onto the word. So,
And
for
that,
example, if I have a group, right? If I have a club, is that a cult?
what is the club?
No.
What is the club? Probably not.
No, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be, it's just a group. It's like I collect
No.
10 people in a
Can we go
room.
through the criteria of a cult? We're going to use the bite model, okay?
Well, wait,
So
but you're using a definition based on a certain preconception. Okay, I'm
you
just
can
talking
use a
about
different model if you want, but okay,
I'm
let me know
talking
if you
about how
disagree.
does an average person, when they hear that word, what do they think of? Because a lot of people, when you just say cult, they're not thinking about what is Byte's definition of what a
I
cult is.
understand they're not,
Oh boy.
but
But
what
you're
I'm
not
saying is
being
it fits the
considerate about
model.
that,
But it
to
fits
be
the
fair.
model of a cult. I don't care if your average person knows what a cult is or doesn't. If they go to
Well,
these
you
12-step
should
meetings,
care about what the word
hold on,
means.
they're going to be subjected to it, whether they know what a cult is or not. They're going to be subjected to the harmful effects of it.
Well, the problem with this is when you just throw a bunch of meanings onto a word, it
That,
changes the word.
that's how words work. Words have
So he's,
meaning. That's
yeah,
literally how
and
words work.
Doug is going by the actual definition of cult. He's not going by your
Okay, so
personal
what does a
definition of a
cult
cult,
mean?
Okay,
because your personal definition of a cult doesn't have actual meaning in the world. So
okay.
calling a club a cult doesn't have actual meaning in the world because we can just swap it out for, say, colloquial understood and accepted.
Okay.
Nobody accepts that a school club is a cult. Nobody. Aside from you, maybe.
I
Guys, just a
mean,
heads up, I have less than
you don't
10
have to
minutes
be
left. Just
you
I
don't
have
have to
less than 10
be
minutes left, just to give you a
impolite,
heads up.
but
Okay, let me go
I'm
through the
just
model
saying,
of a cult. Dude,
what
let me
is
fucking
if
speak.
what's a
Oh my
different?
god. Fuck. All right, I'm going to go through the BITE model of a cult. If you disagree, just let me know, or you can pull up your own model, okay? So B stands for behavioral control, okay? Regulation of physical reality, controlling food, sleep, clothing, dictating where to live, who to marry. Dependency, forcing members to rely on the group for money, shelter, companionship. And then enforcement, implementing strict rules, rewarding obedience, and reporting deviant actions of leadership. So that falls under the behavioral control, okay? Do you have any disagreement with that? Okay, I'll take that as a no. So number 2 would be information control.
All right,
Okay, that's
so I do have. I'm sorry, am I not meant to interrupt or what's going on?
yeah. So hold on, I want to respond to somebody in the comments. So it fits 4 out of the like 4 out of the 5 aspects of a cult. By the way, AA does, and yes, number 1 did. So the enforcement part, implementing strict rules, rewarding obedience, and reporting deviant action. Absolutely, that's in 12-step meetings. And then so is the dependency, forcing members to
Okay.
rely on group, money, shelter. Obviously not those, but companionship. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead, Lucius.
If someone asks you to sign a contract and you agree and you sign that contract, is that manipulation?
How was it put forward to the person? Did they say something that was not in
Straightforwardly,
the contract?
they were presented with a document, they read it and signed it. Is that
Then
manipulation?
I would say no.
But if a person signs a document and it tells them how to think, how to behave, it makes it a requirement for them to check in and all of this. Is that still manipulation or is it okay?
I don't know why we're so hung up on this, man. Like
Hung
we
up
could have
on
had a very good conversation, but
Am
you're
I
so
not
hung
meant to
up
share
on.
my ideas? I thought I was meant to come up and give my points
Yeah, you
to
are, but you're
rebuttal
getting
you.
so semantic about things. It's like we're losing focus of the main topic. It
Because
seems.
that's the way that I'm looking at this, right? So
Yeah, you're
do you
looking at
have
it from
the
a
answers to
perspective where
this or
words don't
do
word.
you have the answer to this or not? It's
The
very
answer to
simple.
what? The answer to what?
Is it manipulation if someone is presented with a document that they read that tells them how to think, when to act? Oh, you have to check in here. I expect these things by this date. and you can't do these things, right? They tell them about what they can or cannot do. Is that manipulation?
It depends on how it was put forward to that person.
Straightforwardly, they were given in a document. I just said it 3 times to you. You're not
Then
paying
no, it
attention.
wouldn't be
Yeah,
manipulation
then
because
probably
they're
not.
Okay.
honestly,
So
yeah,
when
it's
you say,
honestly able
when you read
to
out the
recognize it.
bites, you know,
The bite model.
standards or whatever the case may be for a cult,
Yeah.
right? You're talking about a different meaning. And I just think you should really make that
What do you mean by
clear to
that? What do you
people.
mean? I mean, what do you mean by that?
Well, you're talking about something that is nefarious. You're talking about something that is coercive. When you just
Cults
describe,
are coercive.
let me finish,
They
please.
By its
act,
very
I'm
they
nature.
explaining
feign.
myself.
Wait,
I'm
wait.
explaining myself.
Cults
Hold on.
are coercive because they feign that they are being that very outright, blunt
Yeah, but when
document
you
that is
don't make a
clearly telling. Wait,
distinction
let me
between
let me
community
finish.
and cult,
Let me
that's a
finish.
problem.
Let me
Bro.
finish.
Bro,
Let
you're so
me
annoying.
finish. So cults are coercive because they feign the blunt, I'm being direct, I'm being clear in their contract type of way of being at first. They say that they're being clear, they say that they're being concise, they say that they're being accurate and representing what they're actually representing. But then once you dig a little bit deeper, they're not. That is why it's manipulation, because they're not actually being clear and honest. They're being manipulative. They're being dishonest. They're being coercive. That's why we call cults coercive. That's why they have a negative connotation. When you join a school club, you know exactly what you're signing up for. When you join a cult, you don't actually know what you're signing up for because 50 years down the line, you're asked to do some insane shit, and then you're wondering why the hell you even joined them in the first place.
Right. So that what you're describing is like something nefarious that would be like covert and with hidden intentions.
That is a cult.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's
I
what
get
occurs
that.
in 12-step meetings, and that's what occurs in 12-step meetings.
Right. I get that that's what you believe when you hear cult. But what's the definition of cult?
I can't do this anymore, man. I cannot. I
I
don't
mean, I
understand.
thought you were open-minded. I thought I
You're
could
like a
come up and just
broken
bring
record,
up
bro.
ideas and we can have a discussion about it. But if you don't want to be civilized about it,
You didn't
How
even
many-
want to listen to Doug when he was giving you the explanation, nor did you listen to me when I outlined the tenets of a cult for you. And then you said that it was all semantics and bullshit. Because
I didn't say any of
you
that.
give
I didn't
words.
say anything was semantic
Well,
or bullshit.
when you do words, it changes the meaning of the word and all this weird shit. Like, do you want the answer or do you not want the answer? I'm so confused.
I mean, I just wanted an answer to my question, to be honest.
We did. We went through it.
So she's saying that it's a cult is something that is coercive, where there are hidden intentions and meanings down the road. Someone might say something to you, and then later on they expect you to do something else.
Oh my God, you're reading way too into it. The actual tenets of being a cult is what Doug described earlier, the specific definition. What I was giving you was a generalized definition that is generally accepted by society. And what is accepted by society is not claiming that something like a school club is a cult, because that is not coercive. It's very clear about what it is.
You also didn't even get
definition of a
to.
cult?
You also didn't even get to the background. Like, we can play semantics all day, but you still haven't even addressed Doug's actual
I
background.
don't know why you keep saying it's semantic. I'm just
because
getting
it is
clear on
semantic. Because
definitions.
okay, listen, I literally have to go like in a minute. Do you believe AA or 12-step meetings in general or cult like or a cult or anything of that nature?
To be honest with you and frank,
yes, please be honest.
I don't agree with your perspective and the way you're handling this, and frankly, you haven't proven me wrong or brought up any points to make me think otherwise.
Go fuck off.
Oh boy, thanks for having me, Doug.
Yeah, I want to.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to do this topic more though, because I think this could be a good conversation. Like I would love to keep going. I just got to go, but I might do this later on tonight, guys. Okay. I got several clients I got to work out though, but it's nice to have a decent amount of people in here, because last time I did this, it was like nobody in here. So, but anyway, Snitch, you want to say anything before I drop?
No, have a good workout.
Okay. Thank you, Snitch. Take care. I'm actually working out, people, but whatever, same deal. All right, guys. Yeah, I need more eating, right? Yeah, but I'll see if I can do this topic a little bit later, because again, I think it can be pretty helpful. And I would absolutely like to talk to people who go to 12-step meetings, and I do want to have a genuine conversation. I just don't want to get so semantical about it that we lose focus of the topic. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the live, click the red follow button on the top left. Just know that I don't typically do these topics. I typically do more like politically oriented topics. So just keep that in mind. But hey, subscribe anyways and follow anyways. All right. Take care, you guys. Have a good one.